undefeated 51 win over Austin Peay. Opening statement, and we'll take questions.
Yeah, I think first, Nate's doing a great job with that team. Watching them on film, I think they played probably their worst game of the year the other night at North Florida. But any team that can go, they played TCU well for the first 30 minutes, and then I can attest to it. Any team that can go into Dayton and win has some, great growth potential. And I think they fit that bill. They're good. They can really challenge you on the offensive end because they have low post scoring. They have ability to knock down threes. Very good three-point shooting team. They play with a point guard, a post, and 3 wings that really put you into some tough matchups. So with that being said, I thought our guys responded extremely well. Our defensive effort for the entire game, outside of a 4-minute stretch where we didn't defensive rebound as well as we have been, I thought was outstanding. You look at those shooting percentages, you look at the overall rebounding, you look at the forced turnovers, you look at the steals, you look at the block shots, tremendous defensive intensity and attention to detail in a lot of our coverages. So I'm proud of our response there on that, and we're getting it from the starters and the guys coming off the bench, which is good to see as well. And then when we show flurries of good offense, then we're a pretty good team, and we just got to get those flurries turning into what would be next after flurries? Storm? I'd take a nice little winter storm right now on that. But we're making progress, and we made some big plays down the stretch. Second half we shoot 56% from the field, go 17 of 22 from the free throw line. So we made some critical winning plays, no doubt about it.
Coach, Sam Hines Jr. drew the start tonight. I thought his defense on Tariq Silver was really good, especially in the first half. He only made 1 shot out of the 4 he took. Could you talk about Sam, please?
Yeah, I thought he got off to a good start too because his aggressiveness offensively and defensively got Copeland in foul trouble, which was big for us also. We're able to switch Sam on the different guys, which kind of secures your defense in a lot of areas. He was really good on the defensive glass. We just need to keep working to get him a little more confident on the offensive area. But again, his defense today, his energy level, his ability to guard multiple positions was big for us, no doubt.
Coach, you have a double-digit lead in the second half. They tied at 40 on a pretty big 3, and you guys respond with an 8-0 run basically right away. How important was it for you to see that your team will respond after South Carolina State? You're sitting on that for 11 days, and now in the second half you're able to respond to it.
Yeah, I think it was a great response. You bring up a good, a critical point in the game. Again, we had about a 6-minute stretch in that when we went from 14 to tie. Offensively, we didn't have the same movement. You know what I mean? We didn't have the same movement. And then, they made some shots, and during that stretch, we didn't finish plays on the defensive end with rebounds either. I think they got 5 of their 8 offensive rebounds during that stretch. And then we had a couple mistakes. We give up a free throw rebound, a missed free throw rebound. They hit a 3 on that. You know what I mean? And those are backbreakers. And this game is a frustrating game, as I told our guys afterwards. You got to be able to deal with that frustration and move on to the next play. And I thought our guys' response when they tied it, and I don't know the exact order, but I think Russ hit a couple shots in that. I think Chap hit a shot in that. Kind of steadied the rush that we were facing at that time. So that was good to see. But more importantly is we executed well offensively during that stretch. You know what I mean? And then when we got shots, we shot them like we were going to make them, and that's a big difference. That's a big difference. And then to go on to 8-0, you got to get stops on the other end and finish out the play with rebounds. So it was a good combination.
Coach, what about Caleb Murphy, Javon Green down the stretch? They had 16 to 20 points, got to the line.
Yeah, I obviously, Murph missed some of those early from the free throw line, but then down the stretch, we got him a couple minute rest there, which was big. I thought Trey came in and gave us 4 minutes, really good to get Murphy a little bit of a rest. Now he's a little fresher at the end of the game to go get the ball and to make his free throws and to defend. So I thought that was big. And obviously, Javon's been a very good free throw shooter in his career, so kind of expect him to put those in. I'm kind of looking at it, kind of pissed that he missed 3 of them. I didn't know he missed 3 of them. I thought he only missed 1. But obviously he made the big shot off the glass on that kind of the float shot, and then did a great job. Again, the one thing that goes unnoticed is Javon Green is our leading defensive rebounder on the season, not just tonight, on the season. And Murphy is second. You know what I mean? And I'm on their butt all the time because I still think they can both get 2 or 3 more a game. And that I always have said that, we're very rarely going to have a guy average 10, 12 rebounds a game because we're a gang rebounding team. Everybody has to rebound, you know what I mean? And so when you have 2 guards that can rebound, those guys got, 14 defensive rebounds tonight, which is pretty darn good from your 1 and your 2.
For y'all, as you kind of go into this next 3-4 game stretch with Florida and then the Hawaii trip, you get Corey Walker back, which is huge. But just, when you're looking at this rotation and kind of how you want to have it ready to go before conference play, just what are the maybe 1 or 2 things you're looking for?
Yeah, I think, as I said from day one, our strength has to be in our numbers, and then sometimes it's going to be a game where, you play 8 minutes, and the next game it could be 22. And that's hard. I'm not saying that's easy on the guys, but it's our best chance to be successful. And some of it has to do with matchups, and some of it has to do with, to be honest, who's playing the best. You know what I mean? And so practices have to be really good because guys got to be fighting for those minutes. But as you said, this next segment, this game, the Florida game, the 3 games in Hawaii, and then the game when we come back, this next segment, heading into conference play, we got to get a little better idea of what that rotation looks like. You know what I mean? What that rotation looks like. Because, it's hard to play 12 guys. You know what I mean? It's hard to play 12 guys, and I understand that. But the one thing is, we got to get to a point where if your number is called, you're ready to go. You know what I mean? You're ready to go, and you're ready to impact the game, and maybe initially it's defensively and energy and rebounding, and then all of a sudden the offense starts clicking in. You know what I mean? Sometimes with players, they try to do that in reverse. You know what I mean? Try to get it going offensively first, and that usually doesn't work out too good. So we just got to be okay with that. And I'm not saying that's easy to do. I understand that that's difficult, but that's what we need. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to need.
Speaking of Corey Walker Jr., he's battled multiple different injuries even before he arrived. What did you see from him tonight?
Well, obviously, I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good player. Maybe as good as he wants to be. You know what I mean? Because he's got a high skill level, has a good understanding of the game. He has not played in over 20 months. You know what I mean? He has not played in a game.
Yeah.
Put on a uniform and played in a game. Now, his first shot probably shouldn't have been a 3 in that 20-month thing. It was like you know what I mean? But he comes in, he gets, let me make sure I'm right here. Like the second possession, he gets a big offensive rebound for us. You know what I mean? So, we just need, he needs to just understand the work that you have to put in every day. It's an everyday thing. We need him to be an everyday guy, and he's made great strides, and he's going to keep making great strides. And as those strides continue to increase, then his opportunities and his ability to impact games is going to continue to increase. The one thing is, man, you got to bloom where you're planted, and right now because of the injuries and because of that, it's a little more limited, but he's got to do a good job in that, and then all of a sudden that grows. And the other thing is, it's a process. Our job is to get him to be a great player and a graduate and a great man down the road. Not today. It's gonna take time. And I just, it's hard because guys don't, we live in a very impatient world, but he's got a chance to be really good, and he's made great strides since he's come back from the injury. As I said last time we talked, the last 3 weeks of his recovery, both the strength coach and the trainer said he was off the chart in terms of his intensity, his focus, all those things. Those are steps that down the road you look back and say that's when he started to figure things out, Because one thing always has to happen. Whatever his expectations are, his work ethic has to meet his expectations. If they don't, then that's when frustration comes into play. And he's starting to learn that. Last year was a wash, man. He's hurt the whole time, and with everything else going on. So a lot of the stuff that he would normally have learned last year, he's learning right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, probably the most important question of the night here. Back to the suit.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Good. I figured the guys might take me a little more seriously if I was dressed up. Initially I thought everybody was going with the casual, with the sweat top or polo or whatever. Then I see a lot of guys not doing it, and I was just like, I told my staff they can continue to do it. But I've done this for 30 years in a suit. I'm not gonna, if I get back at it.
Do you feel like yourself again?
Feel like myself again, yeah. I'm not sure it's going to be suits and ties, but it is what it is. We finally unpacked our stuff, and so I saw these nice sport coats and suits. I'm like, I'm going to start wearing those. So, as I said, it feel like a little more work, back to work. You know what I mean? As opposed to, whatever we were wearing before.
All right, thank you guys.